Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a very special one, as you might have been able to tell from the title, because I'm finally getting around to filming my luxury handbag collection video as of October 2020. Now, I do want to preface this video with a quick disclaimer. I'll keep it short and simple because these shouldn't be necessary to begin with, but I feel like with YouTube and with social media, better be safe than sorry. So obviously this video is not filmed and intended to be bragging or showing off or being like, look what I got and look what I'm able to spend my money on. That's not what I'm about at all. I just really enjoy watching collection videos myself, especially luxury handbag collection videos. These are my personal favorite type of videos to watch on YouTube, and with the niche I'm putting myself in terms of my YouTube channel and my videos, it's just part of the game essentially to at one point film a luxury handbag collection video, and that's what I'm going to do today. So yeah, just bear in mind, or a little disclaimer, that you deliberately clicked on a video titled luxury handbag collection if you get easily triggered by stuff like that, if you don't understand people spending a lot of money on luxury handbags, maybe that isn't the video for you, and now would be a chance for you to click off. And just save yourself from like negative energy if you might be getting that from these type of videos. But again, just to clarify, my intention with this video is by no means to show off or rub in your face how much money I spend on luxury handbags. It's just a passion of mine, and I guess if you clicked on this video, chances are it's a passion of yours too, so yeah. Oh, and one more thing I want to bring to your attention is that the bags I'm about to show you haven't been bought within a span of a year or half a year or anything like that. I've been collecting for over 6 years at this point, and considering the amount of time I've been loving and enjoying luxury handbags, this collection is on the more small side, I want to say. But I do have quite a number of bags to show you. I'm surrounded by bags basically, so I don't want to waste your time with a long disclaimer. Just to point out that I've been buying luxury handbags for a while, and all of the bags I'm going to show you are purchased with my own hard-earned money. One more thing is I'm only going to show you the luxury, like top-tier designer handbags. If you want me to film a part 2 basically, where I show you my mid-range and contemporary designers, as well as maybe some high street bags. I do have a couple of Zara bags and stuff like that. Definitely let me know if you'd be interested in that. Just pop me a comment down there and I'm happy to film a part 2 of my collection, but the ones I'm going to cover today are only like top tier designer handbags. So with that being said, let's finally get into my first handbag, and I'm gonna go through them in chronological order. So as I mentioned, my first luxury handbag found its way into my collection in 2014. Back then I was still going to uni, and yeah, it did take me quite a while to save up for this right here. So this is my first luxury handbag ever, and obviously this bag needs no introduction. It's the Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM in the damier ebene canvas. Now, as I said, I was going to uni, so I bought the GM size with the intention of possibly wearing this to uni. I didn't end up doing that because I was so precious about this bag. Although it's like super hard wearing, it's nearly impossible to like get it scratched or see some wear and tear on this. But yeah, the Neverfull GM. When I bought this bag, Louis Vuitton was kind of going through a transitional period when it comes to the Neverfull. They used to come with a different type of interior. It was a little more intricate, and I hope you can see it, the Louis Vuitton right here was in a little more cursive and like, yeah, artsy kind of font. And it didn't come with a pouch inside. When I went into the boutique to purchase my Neverfull, they basically had both options: the old version that they were phasing out at that point, and the new version with a pouch. Obviously the old style was a little less expensive because it didn't come with a pouch, obviously. But yeah, I decided to go with the pouch because the Neverfull is quite an open bag. You can easily have people reach in there, especially when you're in the crowded area. So I was like, okay, for my phone, wallet, keys and stuff, this little pouch might be quite a great idea. Did I ever use this for the purpose? Maybe once or twice, and yeah, as I said, the Neverfull has been in my collection for like 6 years at this point. So looking back, maybe I should have just gone for the less expensive old version of the Neverfull, especially because I do prefer the inside lining of the old version. But now that I have this one, I don't intend to sell it. I know a lot of people sell their pouches because they don't have a use for that either, but I'd rather keep it as a full set in case I ever decide to sell my Neverfull someday down the line, because granted, I don't wear it that often anymore, but it's a classic and it's a great bag to have in your collection and won't go out of style anytime soon, I guess. Oh, one thing I do want to point out is that I do have a base shaper inside the bag. Oop, that was a bit of fluff going on there. I do have a base shaper inside my Neverfull. I prefer a more structured look when it comes to handbags, and this one is, it does have some structure, but it's definitely not the most structured bag out there, and I don't enjoy the sagging that would happen down here if you put like heavy items inside your bag. So I have the base shaper to prevent the sagging from happening, but that basically comes down to personal preference. Some people like the more slouchy look, I don't, so I have this base shaper. I think I bought it on Amazon. Don't quote me on that. So back in 2014, I was actually pretty torn between two styles of handbags that were like entry level and pretty popular for Louis Vuitton. Obviously the Neverfull and the Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandoulière in 35. Obviously I went for the Neverfull in 2014, but I did know that I wanted to add a Speedy into my collection eventually, and that's what happened in 2015. So as I said, this is the Speedy in the bandoulière size, which means it comes with the shoulder strap. It's basically two parts. This one is useful if you want to wear it on your shoulder alone. You can extend the bandoulière with this like middle part. I think you can make it work crossbody. In fact, I don't think I ever tried that, but yeah, you have the two-part leather strap. And yeah, I don't think this bag needs any introduction. It's a classic. Again, maybe a little basic, I do admit that, and you see a lot of girls or women walking around with a Speedy, be it a real one or a fake one. Sometimes you can't really tell, sometimes you can tell, and I mean, if you decide to purchase fakes, that's your prerogative. I want to say I don't judge, but I actually do, just because I don't know why you'd want to buy a fake and have people notice that it's a fake. Even just buy a non-branded handbag or like a mid-range designer Coach handbag. I'd rather go for that than buy a fake, but again, that's personal preference. Anyway, obviously this is a real one, as are all my other handbags. I'm not a fan of buying fakes, and I'm not a fan of supporting whatever semi-criminal business stands behind that. But yeah, this needs zero introduction. It's a pretty common handbag, and it's an entry-level handbag with it being canvas, and yeah, in general, it's one of the more affordable handbags at Louis Vuitton. It's pretty big. I do admit that. I did mention in numerous of my videos that I'm a fan of big bags, and that hasn't changed, but this is pretty big. I'm able to get away with it without it looking like a gym bag, but that's again due to my height, and yeah. I still really enjoy this, and this is basically my rainy day bag, as bad as it sounds, because with the Damier Ebene canvas you get the treated leather parts, so there's zero risk of getting any type of water stains or anything on the leather parts because they're treated and they're basically indestructible. I do want to point out, especially with the bigger size Speedies, it's basically key to get a bag organizer or a bag insert. To hold its structure, which mine doesn't really work that well on. It's just a cheaper one from Amazon. I had planned to buy a Samorga one, but yeah, never ended up doing that. But still, even for organization, it's important to have a bag organizer in my opinion, because otherwise it's just a black hole. And I guess most of you will know the feeling of digging through your bag, looking for your keys or wallet with an increasing heart rate. So yeah, just save yourself the hassle and get a bag organizer is what I'd suggest, but obviously that's also personal preference. So after these two LV handbags, I took a bit of a break when it came to buying luxury handbags, just because I realized that while it was great looking at them sitting in my closet, I didn't really reach for them, because back then, as I mentioned, I was still going to uni and spent most of my wake hours at the library or like in lectures. So yeah, there was no point in expanding my luxury handbag collection when I didn't have a chance to actually wear those. So yeah, okay, granted, I did buy a Gucci Soho Disco in late 2016, but that bag is no longer in my collection. I did talk about that in a little more detail in my video on luxury items I sold and why. I'll link that up here and in the description box if you want to check that out. So the Soho Disco didn't work out for me, which is why I sold it eventually. But the next luxury handbag that is still in my collection is this one right here. Is MCM luxury designer? I don't know. I mean, the price is definitely up there, but at the same time, who knows? Who defines what luxury handbags are? I think just considering the price tag, I'm gonna include this in my luxury handbag collection video. And as you can see, it's in a bright, semi-bright purple, which is kind of an out there color for me. As I mentioned in some of my other videos, I'm more of a neutrals or like black kind of girl, especially when it comes to leather handbags, because obviously leather handbags do come with quite a significant price tag. And I wouldn't go as far as calling this an impulse purchase, but I definitely did put a lot less research into purchasing this bag as I usually do, but I'm still super glad I have it. I think purple is quite an underrated color when it comes to handbags, especially when you wear a lot of blacks and blue. Blue and purple surprisingly works really well together, but yeah. Did I mention what this is called? Yeah. In case I didn't, it's the MCM Mila bag. And yeah, I do wear this one a surprising amount of times. In general, I'm not a fan of MCM. Don't kill me, but I think their regular monogram, this like cognac color with their monogram on it, looks pretty tacky. But some of their leather handbags actually look quite classy and streamlined and simple, because as you can see, the only branding you have is this little stamp right here. So I mean, you can turn it around and it's basically a non-branded handbag, which is great at times. So yeah, this is my MCM Mila tote, and I want to say I paid like 850 euros on it for a full leather handbag, which is really well made. I think that's quite an amazing price tag. So definitely look into MCM's leather handbags in case you're currently in the market for a new leather handbag that doesn't break the bank. The next handbag is one you haven't seen on my YouTube channel yet, but if you follow me on Instagram, you know that in early or like mid 2018, I did treat myself to this beauty right here, and it's my first and until now my only Louis Vuitton leather handbag. This style is called the Lock Me 2, if not mistaken, and sadly I think they discontinued this style. At least I didn't find it on the Louis Vuitton website, which is kind of a shame because I really enjoy the design. It's a top handle handbag. You have these two top handles right here, but it also comes with a shoulder strap, which is great to have if you're in a pinch and you need to be hands-free, but in general I much prefer wearing this in the crook of my arm or just handheld, because I think a shoulder strap doesn't really work with the overall aesthetic of the bag. But again, it's always great to have the option to wear it over the shoulder if you really need to. So as for the layout, you have this giant zip compartment in the middle. The zipper is just so smooth. Really big inside, you have this like micro suede-ish material, and other than that, you have a magnetic like slip compartment in the back, which is amazing for your phone, and one compartment right here, which opens with this turn lock feature, which I'm really in love with this turn lock. Plus, it's like a matte gold hardware, which initially I was a little worried about because I was certain that this was going to tarnish or like chip or like get shiny over time. But as of now, I have had zero issues with that. Maybe that's the reason why they discontinued it, because maybe in 2 years, 3 years down the line, I may experience some chipping or like the hardware getting shiny, but for now I'm super happy with it, knock on wood. So yeah, this is the LV Lock Me 2, and I'm super happy to have this in my collection. It did cost quite a bit. Obviously, it's a big leather handbag. I want to say I paid like 2,350 euros, just to give you an idea in case you're looking to buy this on the pre-loved market, to give you a reference of how much I paid new at the boutique. But yeah, I really enjoy wearing this, and I also enjoy that this is not a handbag style that you see everyone and their mother wearing when you go into the city. Would I purchase yet another like leather handbag from Louis Vuitton? Not too sure about that, because the price tag is pretty up there. And also, when it comes to leather handbags, Louis Vuitton isn't really the first or second or third brand that pops into my mind. But again, I'm really pleased I have the Lock Me 2 in my collection, and I have zero intention to sell this one because I do wear it quite a bit, and wear and tear wise, zero issues. The corners look pristine. You have 4 feet on the bottom, if you're able to see it, which just protects the base of the bag, which is great. The back of the bag looks amazing too. If you want me to film a dedicated review on this, let me know, but I don't know if it would be too helpful because, as I said, the Lock Me 2 sadly has been discontinued. My next bag requires zero introduction, and it's yet another Louis Vuitton one. Don't worry, I do own other handbag brands, but since I'm going in chronological order, that's just the way it panned out for me. And I'm talking about none other than the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis, obviously in the monogram canvas. I did film a dedicated review after having owned it for almost 2 years at this point, so I'm gonna link that one up here and in the description box for you to check out. It's one of my most popular and most viewed videos. This is just such an amazing bag, super versatile. I love the inside compartments and this lock, obviously. But yeah, you have 2 inside compartments, like 2 main compartments and an additional slip compartment. I'm just such a fan of this bag. It's just perfection. And talking about perfection, 2019 was the year I treated myself to this beauty right here. Obviously, this is the Chanel Classic Flap in the jumbo size with caviar leather and gold hardware. I had been dreaming of someday, way down the line, purchasing a Chanel handbag, but considering the price tag, even last year, that was before the recent 2 price increases, plus there's gonna be a price increase coming in November, which seems pretty likely to happen. It's not just rumored anymore, it's pretty much confirmed at this point, which is just insane, especially after the last price increase in May, which was like up to 20% on some bags. Absolutely crazy, but I digress. Even like last year, this was such a huge chunk of money, and I did feel a little sick handing over the cash and yeah, just purchasing this bag because it's quite the investment like in bag terms, because I definitely didn't purchase this bag just to have it sit on my shelf and appreciate in value. I want to wear it and enjoy it, and I've definitely done that. Granted, there had been a like quality issue. I did talk about that in one of my very first videos here on YouTube. I'll link that up here and also in the description box. Essentially, in case you missed that and you don't want to watch that video, I think this stitching right here, or the other side, I'm not too sure anymore, did come loose after only having worn the bag like 4 or 5 times at this point, which was kind of shocking to me because obviously you spend an amount of money which could have gone to a used car basically on a handbag, and you'd expect the quality to kind of match the price tag, which it kind of didn't, for me at least. But Chanel took care of the quality issue. I had it sent in for repair and it took like 2.5 months for it to return, which was okay for me because I definitely did not want to risk the like damage or the quality flaw getting any worse. But yeah, I'm super happy to have this one, especially considering, as I said, the last 2 price increases. I'm glad I went for it for my 25th birthday last year. And what makes this bag even more special is that, I think I mentioned it on my Instagram, that the entire amount of money that went into me purchasing this handbag came from, essentially selling stuff that I no longer need online. And most of that, except for the Gucci Soho Disco, came from non-designer, non-branded stuff, like clothing I no longer wore, shoes I basically never wore, a lot of clothes that still had the tag attached to them. That's bad, but I know I'm not the only one that sometimes purchases items that just don't work out. So yeah, don't underestimate the power of selling stuff online. Granted, it is pretty time consuming and you get a lot of like weird offers and like lowball offers, but at the end of the day, it did work out for me, and I'm so glad I was able to fund this handbag just from selling stuff online I no longer needed. And although it did take me quite a while to save up because I was determined to keep it with my funding method and didn't want to contribute any money toward this bag from my normal work income, it didn't take that long. I would have expected it to take a lot longer. I think it was less than a year, which is crazy. So yeah, again, don't underestimate the power of selling stuff you no longer need online. Just maybe take a weekend, go through your entire wardrobe and yeah, see what you can part ways with. It's definitely worth it. Next off in chronological order is yet another Chanel handbag. This, however, is a vintage one, or at least pre-loved. Not too sure about the vintage part. It would have to be like 20 years or older. I'd have to check the authenticity code to like determine how old exactly this bag is, but anyway, I'm talking about this Chanel medallion tote in, yeah, I want to say it's caviar, not too sure, but it does look pretty much like caviar. It does feature this giant CC on here, but as it's tone and tone, it's not too in your face. And where the name of the bag comes from is this thing that's attached to the zipper. So yeah, it's basically a medallion, which gives the bag its name. It's a pre-loved one, I did mention that, didn't I? And the way I did come across this one, or like got interested in purchasing this bag, was actually Elf Lawrence here on YouTube. And yeah, just like the kind of vintage, old school type of silhouette, but it doesn't look too dated, which I enjoy. On the back of the bag, you have a pretty generous back pocket, which is amazing because you can easily fit your phone in there. And yeah, in that way you don't have to zip the bag all the way up and close it again. So yeah, that's great. And I did purchase this on Vestiaire Collective for about like under 1,000 euros for sure, like 950-ish, somewhere around those lines. And for the condition of the bag, I was really pleased with that price. And granted, I don't wear it too often, but when I do, I really get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Usually I wear it on the crook of my arm or just handheld, but unless I'm wearing a big coat, I'm also able to wear it over my shoulder. It's a pretty tight fit, but it definitely works. So yeah, this is my Chanel medallion tote. Home stretch. We have 3 more bags to go through, but if you've made it this far into the video, chances are you're enjoying it. So if you haven't done that yet, please consider hitting that like button. That would make me so happy and help me out tremendously in terms of the YouTube algorithm and stuff. And also, I'd be more than happy to welcome you into my little YouTube family. I put out videos all about luxury, shopping, but in a mindful way and in a sustainable way, and the occasional like career-related topic thrown into the mix. So if that sounds interesting or intriguing to you, it would mean the world to me if you subscribe to my little tiny YouTube channel. And who knows, maybe by the end of the year we'll be able to reach 1,000 subscribers. That would be insane. And I'm definitely thinking about some kind of giveaway just to say thank you and yeah, give back, because I really enjoy the interaction under my videos in the comments and you reaching out to me on Instagram and stuff. So yeah, please consider subscribing and yeah, check out my other videos. But back to the handbags, because we have 3 more to go through. The next one I purchased, like in chronological order, is this one right here. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I also filmed a dedicated review and like, yeah, what fits inside, what's in my bag, I think, on this one. This is obviously the Noé GM or Grande by Louis Vuitton. I did purchase this one pre-loved, as you might have been able to tell from the way the vachetta looks. This bag is actually older than I am, so that's definitely a vintage bag. And considering how old it is, the condition is actually pretty impressive. I did purchase this one on Vestiaire Collective too, and I want to say it was like 370 euros, somewhere around those lines, which I think is an amazing price considering the current price of a Noé GM if you were to buy it new from the boutique, and also considering the condition that it's in. So yeah, super happy to have this one in my collection. And this one also has an insert inside. I talked about it in a little more detail in my dedicated review video, but yeah, I'd say definitely go for an insert, because similar to the LV Speedy, the Noé can get into a bottomless pit and a black hole and you won't be able to find anything inside. So I'd highly suggest going for an insert just to have a little more organization in your bag. But yeah, super happy to have my Noé in my collection. Next off is yet another LV vintage purchase, and I'm talking about the Louis Vuitton Pochette Accessoire or Pochette Accessories. This does look quite beaten up, especially when you look at the vachetta tab right here. Also, when I purchased this bag, it didn't come with the like leather loop. I think it's usually attached on here, and it's like, yeah, so you can wear it as a wristlet or like in under the armpit kind of bag, if I'm not mistaken. But since I had been planning to wear this crossbody just to throw over when I basically don't have anything to carry around other than my phone and keys and yeah, maybe a card holder, this is perfectly fine. Plus the seller did include a non-branded vachetta looking strap. I'm not sure if it's leather or like pleather, but I'm fine with it either way. And look at that, it even came with the original, I want to believe it's the original dust bag. It looks so different to the current dust bags. It's like super soft and yeah, just feels very weird, and obviously has a different color than the current dust bags. So yeah, just thought I'd point it out. So fun to have like an old school LV handbag, and the Noe didn't come with the dust bag, which was okay for me too, but yeah. And the most recent addition to my luxury handbag collection, which believe it or not was in 2019, so up until a couple of days ago, where I did purchase a Celine handbag, which I'm not going to include in this video because I want to film a dedicated reveal and first impression. This is my most recent handbag, like my most recent luxury designer handbag. I did purchase some mid-range and high street handbags this year, but this is my most recent expensive and luxury designer handbag. It's by Tod's, which I consider to be luxury, especially when you take a look at their pricing. It's definitely up there. I, however, didn't really pay a lot for this handbag because I bought it on the real while I was working and living in the States. So I did pay 120 USD, super affordable, especially when you consider the original price, which was, I believe, 900 USD plus tax, at least according to the price tag that had been inside this bag upon arrival. So yeah, such a cutie, super glad I got such an amazing deal on this. And it also comes with a crossbody strap or like shoulder strap, which I usually use because it's a tiny bag, and as you know, I'm not that much of a fan of tiny bags, but this does fit a surprising amount of stuff. It does fit a huge phone charger, 2 iPhones. Okay, not a full-sized wallet, obviously, or you'd be able to fit it inside, but nothing other than that. So yeah, card holder, pochette clé from Louis Vuitton. It does fit quite a significant amount of stuff, which I appreciate. So yeah, this is such an amazing bag. It does have quite a number of feet at the bottom, so you won't see any type of scratching on the bottom of the bag, but in general the bag is in such great condition despite the leather being pretty shiny. There is a tiny scratch on here, not sure if you're even able to see it, but other than that I'm super happy to have this in my collection. It's such a cute pop of color, and as you'll see, most of my bags are black and like Louis Vuitton brown colors, except for my MCM one. So this was such a cute addition to my collection. And yeah, so congrats on making it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed filming my video and talking about pretty things and my handbags. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean the world to me if you hit the subscribe button and also tap the like button. That would greatly help out my channel. And yeah, let me know what your favorite handbag out of my entire collection is, and yeah, also feel free to leave me suggestions where my collection might be lacking a color or be a brand or a style of handbags. Definitely leave me your suggestions down below. I do have quite a significant wish list, but I'm always happy to extend the wish list in case I come across a handbag that I'm really in love with. And also, obviously, there is a handbag unboxing and reveal waiting for you. As I mentioned, I did purchase a handbag the other day, so stay tuned for that. That video will come in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and thank you for trusting me with your precious time by watching this video all throughout the end. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and until next time, bye!